Hello, grade 7 students. This is first semester examination, March 2024, paper 1 discussion. By now, you know what kind of format you have for the semester examination in the middle school because you have sit for the semester examinations in grade 6 too. But whatever the practice you have, whenever you get the paper, my suggestion and recommendation is to read the instructions because we don't know, even though we have done the past papers, we don't know this time whether they have changed any of the instructions or not. Therefore, as a practice, when you get the paper, please read the instructions. Here they have mentioned answer all the questions showing workings where necessary on the spaces provided in this paper. That is a very important instruction. Let's say you write the answers on line papers or separate papers, you don't get the marks because the first instruction they have mentioned, you want to write all your answers with the steps, with the workings on the spaces provided in this paper. Therefore, you should be able to manage the spaces they have given and you want to show your workings where necessary. And the next thing you want to pay your attention, the number of marks they have allocated. First, you look at the total marks out of 100. 95 will be for your answers and 5 marks for your handwriting. The handwriting in the sense it's not that the whether you have kind of a circular handwriting or the kind of balls or kind of the very pretty handwriting. No, it should be clear, it should be neat, and the working should be clear. The way you have written the answer, simply the way you present your answers, that is all about they will check. And you have 3 parts in the paper: part A, part B, and part C. In part A, you have questions. Each question carries 2 marks. In part B, each question carries 4 marks. And part C, each question carries 5 marks. Why we need to pay our attention for the number of marks they have allocated? Because based on the marks, we have an idea how we are going to show the steps. Whether we want to write the answers in words, whether we want to write the comprehensive answers, whether we want to show all the steps, that we get an idea. With the practice, you know, if it is the 1 mark question, that what should I do? 2 marks, then 3 marks, 4 marks. With that, you know what should I do, right? So then we will move to the first part. The part A, I will make it bigger so then you can easily see that. In part A, you can see part A, first question, you want to simplify the given ratio. When you simplify a ratio or a fraction, whatever it is, what you do, children, you make it smaller. To make something smaller, what you want to do, you want to divide. Here in the ratio, you have 2 items. To make it smaller, to make it simpler, you want to divide both the items by a particular number. Here I will take 2. So then if I divide both the items by 2, what will be the answer? 1 to 3. Can I simplify this further? No, that is the simplest version. By any chance, when you divide by 2, that you get 2 numbers where you can simplify further. In that case, you can continue. Maybe that the first step you divide by 2, the second step you divide by 3. That doesn't matter until you come across with a number, the 2 numbers where you cannot simplify further, then you are fine. Here that you don't want to worry that much because they have not asked you to write the simplest version. They have just asked you to simplify, but it is better to simplify as much as possible. Then the next one, you have 10 to the power 2. So this question is from your first chapter. When you have something like this, 10 to the power 2 means 10 multiplied by 10. The answer is 100. Right? So 10 to the power 2. 2 is the index. 10 is the base value. Index tells me how many times I should multiply the base value. Then you want to find the rough estimate for this, the square root value. So then I know if I get something like this, 25, right? Square root of 25, the answer is 5. And square root of 36, that I know the answer is 6. So then if I have something in between 26, that means this is approximately equal to, this is how you show. 5 and then double 0 you have. It should be 51, 52, 53. I don't know. Because when I get 50 times 50, it gives me the answer 2500. If I get 60 into 60, it gives me the answer 3600. And then the square root of 2600, it should be something 51, 52, 53. I don't know. I'm giving here only the rough estimate. So then the 5, then I don't know that number, 0.0. So there's something and something. We don't know exactly. The later, when you go to the upper grades, you learn how to find these values. But for the time being, you should know the square root of 2500, it is 50. Square root of 3600, it is 60. Something in between that, it should be, the value should be in between 50 and 60. Exactly, I don't know whether it is 53, 57, 58. Therefore, I just show the rough estimate like this. Okay, so then we will move to the next one. The next question, you have the decimal addition and subtraction. What you are supposed to do, you go to the working column, 3.2 and 4.2 you add, right? First you add them together, 2 plus 2, 4, and 4 plus 3, 7. And from this you deduct 1.2, right? So then this is how you get the answer. So then the answer will be 6.2. So then you write the answer 6.2, right? So you can show the workings like this, or else as you have enough space here, you can add and show here in this space itself. Then the next one that you want to expand 10 to the power of 2. When you expand 10 to the power of 2, that earlier we got that 10 multiplied by 10, the answer is 100. Then I rewrite my question 6.09 multiplied by 100. If you can remember, in grade 6 you learn when you are multiplying a decimal number by 10, 100, 1000, based on the number of zeros, you move the decimal man. And if you have done the lesson with me, I have told you, even though I'm telling that the decimal man is moving to the right and the decimal man is moving to the left, that doesn't happen actually. Actually, that the place value or the digit value will be changing when you are multiplying. But for your easy reference, we say when you are multiplying by 10, 100 or 1000, based on the number of zeros, we move the decimal man. Here we have 2 zeros. Therefore, the decimal place or the decimal man should be moved 2 steps to the right side. So then what will be the answer? It becomes 609.0. Then the final answer is 609. And some students, they ask from in the past also, they ask, teacher, do we really need to write the 609.0? Can't we write the answer 609 straight away? Yes, you can. But when you write 609.0, it shows that what you did, and then it shows that you know the concept behind this. So there's no point of writing 0 at the end after the decimal. Therefore, you finalize or you conclude your answer as 609, right? So then we will move to the next one. 2a is equal to 1. 2a means 2 times a is equal to 1. So then the a is equal to 1 divided by 2, right? Because that the multiplication 2, I bring to the other side as division 2. One ice chalk is 230. Find the price of 3 such ice chalk. What you want to do? You go to the working column, 230, you multiply by 3. Answer is 9 and 6. So then this is the answer. So then you write the answer, rupees 690. Okay. Then the question number 8, 30% of 2 meters in centimeters. You want to write the answer in centimeters. Therefore, what I do initially before doing the calculation, I convert the meter value into centimeter because it's easier for me to do the calculation. So that means 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters and 2 meters equal to 200 centimeters. So then here I write 30%, that means 30 over 100 of 30% of 200 centimeters. Then I write of means the multiplication, right? So then I write 200. So then the centimeter is there, 100 times 1, 100 times 2. So then my answer is what? My answer is 60 centimeters, right? 60 centimeters. That 2 meters means 200 centimeters. And then 100 and 200 I can simplify. So then it gives me 2. 2 times 30, it gives me 60. And the answer should be in centimeters. So they give the colored part as a percentage. So first of all, before writing this as a percentage, first you write this as a fraction. How many boxes we have in this the image? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out of 10, how many boxes they have colored? Only 3. So then as a fraction, it is 3 over 10. 3 out of 10. We have 10 boxes. Out of 10 boxes, 3 boxes were colored. So then I want to write this as a fraction percentage. So I multiply this by 100 and this 0 and 0 I can cancel. 3 times 10, it is 30 and I write the percentage sign. Question number 10, you want to correct the given numbers to 2 decimal places. So then how I can do that? First of all, I want to identify the second decimal place. What is the second decimal place here, children? This is the second decimal place number. And the next number also, I underline the second decimal place. So this is the easiest way to do this. If they have mentioned the 1 decimal place, you underline the first decimal place. If they have mentioned the 2 decimal places, you underline the second decimal place. After underlining the second decimal place, you look at the next number. If the next number is 5 or more than 5, you add 1 to where you add 1, children? To the underlying number. So then I write here, so then this is approximately equal to 43.76 and inside the bracket I write 2dp, right? So that's 75, that became 76. I want to add 1 to the underlying number if the next number is 5 or more than 5, right? And here when I look at that, I look at the next number, it is more than 5. If it is more than 5, what we are supposed to do? We want to add 1 to the underlying number. The underlying number here, it is 9. When I add 9, 1 to 9, that becomes 10. Then what I do, children? Then I write here 7.90 and here I write 2dp. How this 8 becomes 9? Because at the second decimal place, 9 become 10 and then I put 0 and that 1 we added to 8 and that becomes 9. And normally children, when we are writing 7.90, we can just write this as 7.9 because no point of writing the zeros at the end. But here, purposely I wrote 7.90. Even though we don't need to write that zero, I kept it because I have corrected this number to 2 decimal places. Therefore, I want to show 2 decimal places. Right. So then the next one, remove the brackets. So here we know that you don't want to do this step, but I'm doing it 6 multiplied by 6x minus 1. This is not compulsory, but I'm going to show you. 6 times 6x, it is 36x. And then 6 times negative 1, the answer is negative 6. Right? So this is how you write the answer. 36x minus 6. Right? So then the next one here, the printing error, this should be x children. This should be x. Now what happened? 2 times x divide by 3 divide by 4. I write it as 4 over 1. If you have a fraction and the division, and the next one is a whole number, first you convert that whole number into a fraction. How we are going to convert a whole number into a fraction? You know that the denominator 1, we can convert it into a fraction. Then when you have the division, the next step you want to convert this into a multiplication. When you convert the division into multiplication, what happened to the next fraction, children? It takes its reciprocal. That becomes 1 over 4. Then I can simplify 2 times 1 and 2 times 2. Then I can write 1 times x 1x. Either you can write it as 1x or simply you can write as x, and 3 times 2, 6. Right? Okay, so then we will move to the next one. You want to write this as a single number in index form. You can see both of them are the index numbers, both of them have the same base value and the multiplication. If it is the same base value and the multiplication, what you are doing, children, we just add the indices. Here you can't get the final answer because you don't know the value of a and b. Therefore, you just write c to the power of a plus b. And the last question in part A, you want to find the area of the rectangle. So this is very easy. I want to write the formula first. Area is equal to length into width. Length into width. What is the length here? So this is the length, right? And this is the width. So then what I do, children, I just write the values 20 centimeters into 10 centimeters. The final answer is 200 centimeters squared. See how I kept the equation mark. See how I use the units. These are the things you should learn when you are watching the paper discussion sessions, children. Otherwise, you have the marking scheme. You can download the marking scheme. You can just mark the answers. But what is the purpose of going through a paper discussion like this with a teacher? That you want to learn what are the tips she is using and how she approaches the answer and what are the steps she is following, right? So these are the things you want to learn. And if you follow all these steps like this, that no one can say that you are not given with the full marks. So then no way to deduct any of the marks because you have written everything in a comprehensive manner, right? Okay, children. So then we'll move to part B. The part B, you want to find the x value. The first ratio, it is 12 to 18. I can write this as 12 over 18. And then the second one, I can write 2 over x. Now I want to find the x. Two fractions, when you have something like this, we do a very popular thing called the cross multiplication. How we can do this, I can write 12 times x, and then I can write 2 times 18. To find the x value, what I do, children, I bring the multiplication 12 to the other side like this, right? Without simplifying why I did like this, now you will see that what I'm doing, 6 times 2, 6 times 3. It's easier for me to do the simplification. That is why I didn't simplify it. So then 2 times 1, 2 times 1, and then the answer is, the x value is just 3. Right? In the other words, that you can take 2 times 18, it is 36. And then the 12x is equal to 36. Then the x is equal to 36 divided by 12. And x is equal to 3. So you can get the answer like that also. But here that what I did, without taking the 36, I just kept it as the expanded version. And I showed the simplification clearly. Right? So then the x is equal to 3. So then I will move to the next question. Give the y coordinates of a point on the line y equal to 2x, which has the x coordinate of -4. If you want to find the y coordinate, y value of children, so always according to this line equation, it is 2x means 2 times x. Then what is the x value they have given? -4. So then the y value should be -8. I can write this as a coordinate. How? -4, -8. So this is the x coordinate. This is the y coordinate. This is not compulsory. I just wrote it to make it clear. But it is not compulsory, right? It is not compulsory. Then you can just write x is equal to this much, right? Then if the point a comma 10 lies on the straight line with an equation y equal to 5x, find the value of a. First of all, you want to understand what is a. This is the x value, children. This is the y value. What is the formula they have given? The line equation is y equal to 5 times x. Now here, what is the missing figure is the x value. To find the x value, you bring the y to the other side as the division. So we'll see now how we can find the x value. Y value we have, it is 10. And then you want to divide that 10 by 5. X is equal to 2. So then I write the coordinates 2, 10. And you open the bracket like this. So this is the x value and this is the y value, right? Therefore, a is equal to 2. If you just write x is equal to 2, you don't get the full marks. Why? They have asked you to find the value of a, not the value of x. We know the x is equal to a. That is a different story. But if they have asked you to find the value of a, you want to conclude your answer a is equal to 2 because x is equal to 2. We know the a represents the x value, right? So then a is equal to 2. Then we will move to the next question. Prove without drawing the line 1, 3y equal to 9x minus 2 and line 2, 3x plus 1 are parallel to each other. So first of all, tell me what is the requirement to see the parallel lines. So then first of all, you want to write that parallel lines, what is the requirement? Parallel lines, they have something similar. What it is? So then they have same gradient, right? They have same gradient. So you don't want to draw the graph on a graph paper to see whether these two lines are parallel or not. Then the line 1, I take the line 1. So line 1, the equation is 3y equal to 9x minus 2. I can't make any decision with this equation because this is not according to the y equal to mx plus c format. This is 3y, not y. If I want to have y equal to mx plus c format, I want to remove this 3 from the 3y side. For that, I divide this by 3 and I divide this by 3 and divide this by 3. So then it gives me y equal to 3x minus 2 over 3. Then what is the m here, children? So the m is 3. Okay, right? You circle it and show. And then you move to the line 2. Line 2, what is the equation they have given? Y equal to 3x plus 5. This one you don't want to change because that it is according to the y equal to mx plus c format. Here it is 3. So then you can write as the gradient of both the lines are similar or equal, similar. These lines should be parallel to each other. Should be parallel to each other. Right? Okay, so then we will move to the next one. Write the given number as an ordinary number. Now, 10 to the power negative 2 means, children, you want to write this as 1 over 10 to the power of 2, right? 10 to the power of negative 2, you want to write 1 over 10 to the power of 2, that you make it positive. So that means 1 over 10 times 10, that is 1 over 100. I rewrite this question 1.4 multiplied by 1 over 100. Right? So then you write 1.4 over 100. Now again the grade 6 decimal knowledge. When you are dividing a decimal number by 10, 100, 1000, that we move the decimal man to the left side based on the number of zeros we have. Here it is 100 now. We have 2 zeros. So then we want to move 2 steps. So then I write 0.014. Earlier it was here 1, 2. Write 8,800 in standard form. First, I write 8,800 with the decimal. Then it's easier for me. You bring the decimal to the this side, 8.8000. How many steps I came? I came 1, 2, 3. I came 3. So then I can write 10 to the power of 3. And you can conclude your answer 8.8, 10 to the power of 3. No need to write the whole bunch of zeros, but you can show how you got the answer. 8,800, first you write with the decimal. So then the 8,800.0. So it's easier for me to move the decimal. And how many steps I moved? 3 steps I had to move to get a number in between 1 and 10. 8.8000, 10 to the power of 3. With no point of writing the zeros that much, therefore I just write the answer 8.8, 10 to the power of 3. Right? So then we will move to the next question. Find the map ratio. Children, first of all, you want to understand what is the map ratio. The map ratio is the ratio between the distance on the map to the distance on the ground. First of all, I will write the definition. The map ratio is distance on the map. Distance on the map to distance on the ground. Right? Distance on the ground. So what they have given, if the map, if 20 kilometers on the ground is represented by 10 centimeters, it is represented by 20 kilometers. Now I can't write this as a ratio now. Why? Because that they do have in the different units. First of all, you want to convert. For that, you want to have the knowledge the kilometer is equal to 100,000 centimeters. How this work? First, you convert kilometers into meters. How do you convert kilometers into meters, children? You want to multiply by 1000. Then you want to convert meters into centimeters. For that, you want to multiply by 100. Simply, if you want to convert kilometers into centimeters, you multiply it by 100,000. So then this 10 centimeter I can write as it is. Instead of 20 kilometers, I write 20 into 100,000. 20 into 100,000 centimeters. Now you can simplify. Why? Because you have the same unit. This 0 and this 0 I can cancel, and 1, 2. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then you have 200,000. 1 to 200,000 is the map ratio. 1 to 200,000 is the map ratio. Keep that in your mind, children. The map ratio is the distance on the map to distance on the ground. We know for sure that distance on the ground, we are not measuring it in millimeters, centimeters, meters. Definitely it should be in kilometers. Therefore, initially you just write it in kilometers. But when we are getting the map ratio, both of them should be in the same units. So I convert the kilometers into centimeters. For that, we know the relationship 1 kilometer is equal to 100,000 centimeters. Then we simplify and we have the same unit, centimeter and centimeter. So then the ratio, we can cancel it. It gives me 1 to 200,000. Then we will move to the next one. Give each number correct to first significant figure and give a rough estimate. First of all, I take 555. What is the first significant figure? This one. I look at the next number. When I look at the next number, it is 5 or more than 5. I want to add 1 to where I need to add 1 to the underlying number. This becomes 6 and the rest of the digit will be 600. And here I write 1 as F. And children, some of the students, they do this mistake for years. When you have 555, they nicely underline the first significant figure. They recognize it. And they just look at the next number and they know it is 5. If it is 5, they know they want to add 1 to the underlying number. Up to this point, they do this correctly 6. And they nicely write 555 is equal to 6. That won't be happen. 555 is not approximately. So it is not equal at all to 6. It should be equal to 600. Then the next one, I write 368. Again, I underline this. Look at the next number. The next number is more than 5. Therefore, I add 1 and rest of the digit will be zeros. And I write here 1 significant figure. Then I can write that approximately this is equal to 600 into 400. And this is equal to 24. And then you can write the rest of the zeros. The answer is 240,000, right? You want to show this clearly and nicely. Then the bearing question, draw a rough sketch. Then if it is a rough sketch, you don't want to have the protractor or the ruler. You can just show it from the bookshop. From the bookshop. Then when you hear that you mark it B and you have the north direction from the bookshop, right? So this is the important thing. You draw the north direction. From the bookshop B, the bearing of school is 70. And I know if I draw the line like this, it is 90. But here it is 70. Therefore, I draw something less than that. And I draw the arrow here and write 70 and I show S here. Now I will tell you the purpose of drawing the arrow like that, because if you can remember the bearing we explained from the north direction to the clockwise. To show that clockwise direction, I drew the arrow like that and I mark it as 70. But you can see when they are writing 70, they wrote with another 0 because that always we present the bearing value, the degree value in 3 digits. If it is at the less than 100, You just add 0 to the front and you present it with 3 digits. But when you are marking it in the diagram, you don't want to mark it as 070, you just mark it as 17, right? Then we will move to the next one. The girls to boys ratio in a school 4 to 5, right? Now you say that the girls to boys, so then it is 4 to 5. If there are 200 girls, so 2000 girls, find that we don't know the boys. We want to find the boys. How do you convert 4 into 2000 children? You want to multiply by 500. And you want to do the same thing to the boys. So you multiply this also by 500. It gives me 2500, right? But they have not asked me to find the number of boys. They have asked me to find the total number of children in the school. Therefore, I add 2000 and 2500. It gives me the answer 4500 children, right? 4500 children, right? 4500 children. This is how you want to find it. So then we will move to the next one. Yeah, we have a few more questions. We will finish that with the same video itself. Then the next video will be the paper 2. Otherwise, the number of videos will be longer. I want to discuss 2024 and 25, both the years. So then you have 2 papers. So then we will try. I know this video will be lengthier, but that we will try our best to complete the paper 1 here. So then here you want to solve that first what you want to do, that you keep 4x as it is and you bring this 2x to this side, negative 2x. And then you bring this 8 to the other side, that becomes negative 8. And you bring this 2 to the other side, that becomes negative 2. 4x minus 2x, it is 2x. And negative 8 and negative 2, it is negative 10. Then 2x is equal to negative 10, then the x is equal to negative 10, divide by 2, then the answer is negative 5, right? The answer is negative 5. Find the area of the square. So then how do you find the area of a square? You multiply length by length. So then here I have 2.5 centimeters times 2.5 centimeters. Children, we know 25 square. 25 square is 625, right? It's easier. But here we have 2.5 times 2.5. You have 2 decimal places. So then you write 625 with 2 decimal places, 6.25 centimeter square, right? So then the next one, here again a printing mistake. So this should be x and this should be x. So first, when you have 2 brackets like this, first you simplify the first bracket. Don't look at the second bracket. 2 times 3x, it is 6x. 2 times positive 1, it is 2. Then you are done with the first bracket. Then you move to the second bracket. At that moment, you don't consider the first bracket or whatever the simplified version. You just simplify the second bracket. Negative 2 times x, negative 2x, negative 2 times 3, it is negative 6. Then I get the like terms closer. 6x minus 2x plus 2 minus 6. What is the answer? 4x minus 4. 4x minus 4, right? Then we will move to the next question. Find the circumference of this circle. Now, first of all, tell me what is the value they have given. They have given the diameter. To find the circumference of a circle, children, we have 2 formulas. One is, that is C is equal to The one is 25R. And the other one is 5D. Out of these two formulas, I straight away use the 5D formula because they have given me the D value. 5D. So that means 5 times D. Then I can write 3.14 times 20. Children, I will show you something which you did in grade 6 now. When you come across with this, you can easily multiply 3.14 by 20, I know. But here we have another trick to do. 3.14 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 10. Can you remember? You did this in grade 6. Then you multiply these two. It gives me 6.28, and that 6.28 you multiply by 10, it gives me 62.8 centimeters. Right? This is how you want to get the answer, or else that is straight away you can multiply. But if you can remember grade 6, you learned something like this. Right? So then we will move to the last question of part B. Anju got 32 marks out of a possible 80 at an exam, right? So then how many marks she got? 32 out of 80. And you want to find the percentage. First you wrote it as a fraction and then you multiply this by 100. 0 and 0 you cancel. Then you can simplify 8 times 1, 8 times 4. Then what will be the answer? 4 times 10, it is 40, and you want to write this as a percentage, right? Okay, so then we will quickly complete the part C also, then we are done with the whole paper, right? So then the part C, again, they have given a question from the map ratio. The map ratio is 1 to 40,000. The distance between a hospital and a school on the map is 8 centimeters. You want to find the actual distance. Now, children, the map ratio is 1 to 40,000, right? And then the distance on the map, it is 8 centimeters. So then what has happened? That one that you multiply by 8, and then you want to do the same thing here, multiply by 8. So then it gives me 320,000 centimeters, right? So then between the hospital and the school in centimeters, it is 320 centimeters, right? The actual distance is 320,000 centimeters. Sorry about it. 320,000 centimeters. And you want to convert this value into kilometers. 320,000 centimeters. How do you convert into centimeters? The kilometers. You want to divide this by 100,000. That's the relationship you have between centimeters and kilometers. So then you cancel these zeros and this 0 and this 0. Then 32 divided by 10. It gives me 3.2 kilometers. Right? Then we will move to the next question. The diagram shows a square-shaped walking track. If a child walks along the walking track, starting at A and finishing at A, how many kilometers does he walk? What is this, the figure? What is this dimension? So that is, we are talking about the perimeter. In a closed 3D figure, if you are starting from one point and you walk around the shape and come back to the initial stage, so that means we are measuring the perimeter. So then this is a rectangle and this one will be 4 kilometers and this will be 1.8 kilometers, right? You want to add everything together. So then the 4 kilometers plus 1.8 kilometers plus 4 kilometers plus 1.8 kilometers, right? This is how you write it. So then 4 plus 4, we know it is 8. Then 1.8 and 1.8, what is the answer, children? 3.6. For this 3.6, you add 8 by 4 plus 4, it is 8. So then it is 11.6. So then here we write 11.6 kilometers, right? 11.6 kilometers. Then if it takes 2 hours and 20 minutes for the child, if it takes 2 hours and 20 minutes for the child to walk along the track, how many minutes will he take to walk half of the track? How many? That first of all, you want to understand that the 2 hours means 120 minutes. And for that, I add this 20 minutes and it gives me 140 minutes. And then the half of 140 means 70. 70 minutes means it is 1 hour and 10 minutes. Right? Or else that you can just divide 2 hours by 2, it gives me 1 hour. And 20 minutes you divide by 2, it gives me 10 minutes. Right? So, but they have asked me to find how many minutes. Therefore, you want to highlight the answer. So then it is 70 minutes. This should be the final correct answer because they have asked you to write in minutes. Right? Read the question carefully. So then the next one, find the price of 2 slices of pizza and 1 iced coffee. So this is from Bills and Wages lesson, children. If a child pays with 5,000 note, what is the balance he get? So then find the price of 2 slices of pizza. Yeah, so then the 1 slice is 300, right? So then we write the pizza price, that the pizza, you find what is the price, 300 into 2, and it gives me 600. And 1 iced coffee, so then I write iced coffee, 1 iced coffee, so then it is 250 into 1, it is 250. So then what is the total cost of these? You just add 600 plus 250, it gives me rupees 850, right? Rupees 850. So then you want to find the balance. So what is the balance he get? So then you write the balance he gets. How you are going to find it? From 5,000, you deduct 850. So then it gives me rupees. So then here 4,150. 4,150. If a child has 1,000 note, can he buy 3 pieces of cakes? 3 pieces of cakes. So then you want to find the 3 pieces of cake. What is the price of 1 piece of cake? It is 200. So then the cakes, how do you find the cakes? So then you multiply 200 by 3. It gives me 600. 3 pieces of cakes and 2 iced coffees, right? So then we'll see that the iced coffee, the price is 250 multiplied by 2, it is 500. So then what is the total of these items? So that is 1,100, right? So then if a child has 1,000 note, can he buy 3 pieces of cakes and 2 iced coffees? No, he can't buy because it cost 1,100. So then as it cost rupees 1,100, he can't buy them. Okay. Right, children, we are done with the paper 1, right? So then we can move to the paper 2, the next video. The paper 2, you just see, I will just scroll you. I know this is a long video, but you just see how I have written the answers. Right, so then I have written all the answers in a comprehensive manner. I have not skipped any of the steps. You just see that it is the comprehensive answer sheet. This is how you want to write your answers. Okay, children. So then we'll meet again with the next video. It will be March 2024, paper 2. Please be in touch and please share this video with your friends, and because that the exam is close by, so when you are sharing that, whatever the knowledge you get, that knowledge, that knowledge shines when you are sharing. When you keep it with you, it doesn't shine, children. Take my word and believe me, if you want to shine with your knowledge, please share it. That is how it works. That is the secret behind that. Okay, children, we'll meet again next day. Till then, stay safe. Bye and keep in touch and be ready for the paper 2.